Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about debt settlement versus debt consolidation versus bankruptcy versus doing nothing. And I need you to stick with me on this video because regardless of where you're at in your credit repair and debt elimination journey or, debt relief journey, whatever journey you're on, you're going to need to know the information that I'm going to tell you about in this video. And this information, what I tell you is stuff that I've went through and stuff that my clients have went through. I'm going to tell you the stuff that has been that is successful, stuff that works, real deal stuff. But also I understand that you're not going to do nothing that you don't feel good about doing. Regardless of the information that I give you or the information that anybody else gives you, if you don't feel good about it, about what you got to go through, or you don't feel good just because of what you're going through in your life, it's going to make it hard for you to even absorb it. So something that I want to give you right now, and I need you to grab a piece of paper, pause the video, and I want you to listen to me because this is going to be our mantra for the credit repair shop moving forward. We need to, because with music, think about this way. You can listen to a song and it can make you feel good. It can make you feel depressed. It can make you think of things. And the reason why is because subconsciously you're grabbing onto the words and they're using the music and all of the different sounds to put you into a certain state of mind. Well, how about let's take control of ourselves and put ourselves in a state of mind. That's why some of the times you'll see me clapping. When I walk into my office, I start clapping because if you put yourself, you control the state of mind that you're in. And trust me, when you feel good, even if things are not going your way, when you feel good, your mind gets creative and just good things happen to you because you're not in that negative mindset. When you're in a negative mindset, all you see is negativity. So everything seems to go wrong when you're thinking in a negative state of mind. So here, let's go through our mantra. This is our mantra. I want you to write it down. I'm going to start saying this a lot. So here we go. And I'm not a rapper, but we got these words right here, and it says, this is here, repeat after me. Good credit is like gold, better than cash, no more worries, no more financial crash. The credit repair shop, dropping knowledge on the street. Good credit is the key, making your life complete. Just like any other songs or raps or whatever, where you can hear it over and over and over again, this is something that I want you to repeat over and over and over again to get yourself into the right mindset, to make you know that you have the power no matter what you're facing right now, that you have the power. So I'm going to repeat it again. Good credit is like gold, better than cash. No more worries, no more financial crash. The credit repair shop, dropping knowledge on the street. Good credit is the key, making your life complete. Now, reason why I say good credit is like gold and better than cash is because you have people out here saying that you got this worthless dollars and worthless this and that. If money was to go away right now and they said everybody line up, and we're just going to look at your credit to see your credit worthiness to be able to start giving you the new cash or the new credits or whatever they're going to get, where would you be in that line right now? Where would you be in that line? So don't let anyone fool you and say that your credit is not key. Moving forward, I don't care where we're at, moving forward with whatever money, whatever digital currency we're going to have, I'm here to tell you that the individual credit rating is going to be the key that unlocks however we move forward in this country when it comes to money. Trust me. You see it, you can look back in history. So let's move forward. Debt settlement, debt consolidation versus debt consolidation versus bankruptcy versus doing nothing. I'm going to talk about all four of them. And before I get started, this is not legal or accounting advice. If you need legal or accounting advice, speak to a competent attorney or accountant in your area of your choice. The information that I am giving you is not made up information. This is 100% true from my experience, either personally with myself, stuff that I've told family members to do, and they were very successful by following that, and my clients by following it. So I'm not going to tell you something, making up stuff just to get some YouTube videos. So first, let's start with debt consolidation, because there's a lot of confusion about debt consolidation. Debt consolidation is where you actually get a loan. You get a loan and it pays off your debt that you have. One loan, money, digital, whatever you want to call it, pays off your other debt. It does not hurt your credit. It may make your score go down just a little bit, but it does not destroy your credit, because all you're doing is just taking all of the debt, putting it over into another loan, and you pay one payment to that loan. And the benefit of that is that you usually you will have one payment and one interest rate and one loan. Everything's in there. Some of the companies require you to close those other accounts because they don't want you to start charging up the cards again, because that was one of the problems in the past with these debt consolidation loan companies, is that they was like, we give them a loan, they pay off everything, and then they start charging up stuff again. So now they got double the amount of debt. So some companies do require that. Some of them don't require it. I'm here to tell you, if you do it, don't charge that stuff up. Don't get yourself into more trouble. It does not hurt your credit. Your accounts are not charged off. Your credit is solid, but you're paying that payment. That's debt consolidation. That's true debt consolidation. Now, the debt settlement companies, what they have been doing is they have been using a play on words by saying consolidating your debt under this debt relief / debt settlement company's program. And they're requiring people, if they haven't done it already, to stop paying their credit card payments. And they put it under there. Your credit, when you do that, will get destroyed, because those companies are going to charge off those accounts. Now, you might be saying, well, Steve, why will people even do that? Number one, because under a lot of stress and pressure, some people are barely able to make the minimum payments. And let me just walk you through how it's sold. Let's just say that you have like 5 credit cards, and your minimum monthly payments is $2,000 a month. So what they tell you is, hey, stop paying those cards, which the credit repair shop, we never tell people to do that. So I'm going to repeat that again. Credit repair shop does not tell people to stop paying their cards or their debt so it can charge off, so you can get into a settlement situation. We do not feel comfortable telling people to do that. That's a personal choice that people make. But these companies tell you to stop paying your payments, and you pay them. So you were paying $2,000 a month. They say, hey, we're going to slash that in half. That automatically makes the person feel a little bit better, because remember, you're not going to do nothing that you don't feel good about. So you're like, I was paying $2,000, now it's consolidated under this company, and I'm paying $1,000. Your $1,000 is not going to pay those payments. It is not. They're not contacting the companies and saying, hey, it's under our program, and we're going to start cutting off a piece of this money to you every month. No, they're not doing that. What the companies are doing is going into an escrow account. And once your money builds up, they're going to start approaching each of those creditors to start, trying to settle your debt. Now, it's going to have to go through, with credit card debt, 180 days of no payments, which is 6 months, and then the cards will get charged off. So during that 6-month period, they're hoping that you'll continue making your payments, and you'll have a nice amount of cash to start offering for settlements. Here is where the problem and the breakdown comes about, is that number one, those companies will blow your phone up. They are not going to stop calling you. Number two, even if you tell the company that those companies are calling you, they're not going to stop calling you. They're going to call them and you, because until they charge off, you are technically still a customer of their company. They're going to try to do go through every means to try to figure out what's going on, why you're not paying the payments. And even if you tell them what's going on, why you're not paying the payments, they're going to still keep trying to call you or trying to find out if things are going to change month to month. But once it charges off, then they will only call anyone who you designate as power of attorney to call and take those calls. So that will be some relief with you, but you need to be aware that they can sue you. Most of the companies, credit card companies, well, not most, but these credit card companies, you need to be aware that they will decide to go ahead and sue you. Navy Federal, I'm putting them on the list because they have started to sue people directly. Capital One, American Express, Discover, Barclays. Those companies, if you have credit card debt with them and you have them in a debt settlement program, those companies will potentially go ahead and sue you. That's just the way that they play the game. They don't sell the debt, they go ahead and sue. So you need to be aware. And those companies, I have not seen any of the debt settlement companies help people with the suit. So now you might be saying, well, Steve, if I've been paying for all of these months and maybe I owe $10,000 to a card and they want to settle it for $5,000. And over these months, I've put in about $5,000. Let's just say, just to keep it, or even $6,000. And they want to settle it for, let's just say they want to settle it for $6,000. And you say, well, I put $6,000. I've been making $1,000 payments every month, and they want to settle it for $6,000, and you're like, well, why can't I do that? Why won't the debt settlement / debt relief company settle that debt for $6,000? Let me tell you the reason why. It's because they have to get their fee. They don't do this for nothing, and they shouldn't do it for nothing. They deserve to get payment for the work that they're going to do. Any company, if we do it or they do it, we deserve to get paid because we're actually providing a service. But you need to be aware up front of why you have to pay that fee. And that's because regardless if they want to sell it for $6,000, you're going to pay a fee, and say they want to sell it for $5,000. Then you would have the money for the fee. But it makes a lot of confusion because in most situations, what tends to happen is that you'll get a letter in the mail and they'll say, I want to settle it for this amount. You forward it to the company and you're thinking that you've paid in a certain amount of money. And you're like, what do you mean I don't have the money to pay it? Because I'm adding up how much I've paid. It's because they need to make the money for their fees. Some companies charge upwards of 25% on a settlement. And what they usually do is they're not going to charge you 25% on what's settled. They're going to charge you 25% based on the original amount. 15 to 25% based on the original amount. And so that kind of frustrates people because they're like, I could have settled this account. Now, they do something that I do not agree with, and maybe you've been with these companies and you'll know that this is true, is that they'll actually have people take a loan. They had a company that will give loans for the fees, and I'm like, this is crazy. My company would never do it that way, but they have people do that. I'd rather wait on our fee for our company and let the settlement go through so that could be resolved, and then we had the money come to us. I mean, I'm just that way. So you can be sued. You can be sued. So that's something that you need to understand. They can continue to call you until it charges off, and then once it charges off, then your power of attorney could take all of the calls. Credit will be destroyed during that process. Now let's talk about bankruptcy. If you are in a bankrupt situation, then you should, that is your right to look up and see if that is something that you qualify for, and that is something that you want to do. There's two forms of bankruptcy for consumers. Chapter 7, which is they wipe away all of your unsecured debt, and then Chapter 13, where it's a debt repayment program. And you can look at the pros and cons of dealing with that. I've seen people who have went into a Chapter 13 and they were like, this was one of the worst things that they've ever done. I could tell you that from people that I've talked to with Chapter 13, I've never filed Chapter 13 myself, but with Chapter 13, they did get the relief that they needed with dealing with the creditors. But they were in a Chapter 13 under the court supervised repayment program, and some people just don't feel comfortable with that. With a Chapter 7, stuff could be wiped away, but that puts you into a situation with bankruptcy. But you can recover from bankruptcy within 1 to 2 years, depending on which bankruptcy option you take. Now, let's talk about doing nothing. Let's just talk about doing nothing, because I see YouTube comments where people just say, "Don't answer your phone, don't answer your door, don't do anything, don't pay nobody, don't do nothing." Well, let's look at it. People say things, but how does this make you feel? Because remember, I said you're not going to do nothing unless you feel good about doing it. So if you don't answer your door, how do you feel about moving forward in life that way? If you don't answer your phone, how do you feel good? How do you feel? I don't want to say good or bad. Just how will you feel taking that type of information and moving forward with it? If just so you know, just because you don't answer your phone, you don't answer your door when you're being summoned to court, that does not mean that those companies will not proceed and move forward with whatever actions that they want to take to either garnish your wages or garnish your bank account. So doing nothing only applies to the individual doing nothing. Doing nothing does not extend to the company or the creditor or whoever it is, the attorney for the plaintiff or the attorney that's representing the debt collection company for a debt collector or for the original creditor. Doing nothing does not apply to them. So that's why I want to that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to make this video, for clarity, because debt settlement, debt consolidation, the misconceptions, bankruptcy, misconceptions, and doing nothing, the misconceptions about doing nothing. Just because you are in a debt settlement program does not mean that the creditor or debt collection company, who it is, cares too much about that. They're going to proceed with what they're going to do, and people are going to have to negotiate and meet in the middle and try to figure out a solution. But they're going to still do what they're going to do. Debt consolidation, we clarified that. You're getting a loan, that's cut and dry. Doing nothing, just because you do nothing does not mean that those companies, debt collectors, those lawyers for the debt collectors or the original creditors, that does not mean that they're not going to do nothing. And that seems to be when I see comments like that where people say, "I'm not going to answer no calls, I'm not going to do nothing, I'm not going to answer the door," whatever. The feeling that I get from when they say that is they think that those people are not going to do nothing. And I'm here to tell you, they are going to do something. They are going to do something. Just because you do nothing does not mean that they're not going to do something. So, all right, let's close it out real quick. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process by two-phase settlement process. Forgive me, I had oral surgery on one of my teeth, and I don't feel, when I talk for a while, it doesn't feel good. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, your3scores.com, to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, don't sit there and do nothing. Do something about it. And one of the misconceptions also is that for some reason people think that when they do something to respond to a debt collector, that that debt collector wasn't going to do something for them. They're like, "I made it worse. Like, by responding to them, it made it worse." They were going to do it. They were going to do something. It just seems that it met when you responded, but they are going to do something. If they're going to do something, they're going to do something. And most of the time, these companies are plotting and planning to do something. They don't, if you don't answer your phone, don't answer your door when being summoned and all of that stuff, you don't know what they're planning on doing. But trust me, they're going to do something. So grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, cease and desist collection activities letter. Use the one that's appropriate for your situation. If you have any other issues, post your questions and comments under the here on the YouTube channel. Go to my website on the live chat. Leave me a question. I go in there and answer as many as possible. If you go to live chat, I'm able to answer them all because it's kind of lined up in a better way for me. On YouTube, some of your stuff, because of what you commented with other channels, gets thrown into the spam box or gets thrown into the have to get approved box. And I'm just upfront. I go through the approved box first. Thank you for your time. Please like this video, because when I help you, you should like the video. And when you like the video, you help other people. So by me helping you and you simply liking the video, you help other people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com.